Last, we had an overview of TradingView, but now, how do you actually use the tools that are within TradingView? So let's get into it. So I got all the tools that I put on my favorites bar here. In order to put a tool in your favorite bar, all you do is click, hover over the tool. There should be a star right there, right? And you just click add to favorites, and it pulls up. It comes up into this bar here, so it's easy to just get to, and everything's more just convenient, really. So here are all the tools that I use personally. Not all of them are applicable to my model, but majority of them are. So here is how I use the tools, and here are all the tools. So first, let's get into it. We got our little rectangle. A little shortcut for the rectangle is Alt Shift R. Press Alt Shift R. You got your rectangle tool right there. With the rectangle tool, I use this tool to mark up fair value gaps, inefficiencies, or imbalances in the market. For order blocks, it's really just a good tool just to see like an area in the market where like you want to see price come to. So for example, right here, boom, we have a nice order block right here, which we'll get into what order blocks actually are within this course. But yeah, as you see here, it's just a good tool to use to mark out what we need, our confluence, and also to see where we come to retrace from our confluence. So our order block, we retrace to it right here about, and they came lower. That's a good example of how we can use our order blocks or our rectangle tool. Yeah, all right. Next tool, we have our short and long positions. So these tools are very good because when we're trading, a big thing in trading is risk management, right? So with this tool, we can see exactly how much we are risking to our reward ratio. For example, say I was taking a short, I would put my tool, say it was from right up here, and for some reason, just randomly, I'm like, I want to take a short here. So I'm going to see how much do I want to risk, how much do I want to lose. So since this is a stop or a short position tool, the top here is your stop loss, right? And then the bottom here is your take profit, and you can adjust this however you want. And as you see, these numbers change as you move it. So as you see here, it would be a 5-to-1 risk to reward ratio. And what we're looking for usually is as low as 1-to-1 and as high as whatever, really. But ideal like 2 or 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Same thing for the long position, just the opposite side of the market. For taking longs or buys, we would want to place our black line here is our entry. The top is our take profit, and the bottom is our stop loss. Won't adjust that however, adjust this however. You see the exact risk to reward ratio. As you see is 1.63, so that's roughly around a 2-to-1 risk to reward. But that's how I use my short and long position tools, and you can use this anytime for any trade. I recommend for any trade, to be honest. Next, we have text box. Pretty self-explanatory. Text box, write your text anywhere, but I use it when I don't know why my keyboard keeps turning off on me. It's slowly but surely dying. But I use my text box. Join Top Profit Club in the description. It's free. It's great to learn with other like-minded traders like you. Great community. I check it out. But yeah, definitely I use this to mark my confluences. So say I see like for example, just like somewhere like our order block we were talking about. Say we had an order block right here, and when I'm charting up, I have a lot of these confluences. I'm talking about 20, maybe like 10, 20 confluences I'm just looking at. And it can get confusing very quickly if you don't know exactly what you're looking at. So in order for me to keep track of everything, I use my text box. Boom, I put right here, just OB or order block. Right there. I would type that in with my text box. So that's just a little bit of how I can use it. Okay. And that, yeah. All right, next we have our trend line right here. Trend line, very helpful tool if you want to identify the overall trend of the market, which just means the overall direction of the market. I have a whole presentation with all the beginner confluences. If you want to learn them, they're in the top profit Discord below under free learning tools. And yeah, but if you want to use, that's all in the description. If you want to use this trend line, you can use Alt T. And it should bring up the trend line, and you just click, drag, click. And you see, by us using this trend line, we can see that we're in a bullish trend in the market. Okay. Well, all right. So that's pretty simple. That's what I can explain that as. Next, we have our arrow. Kind of similar to the trend line. Our arrow, we can use this to just point things out. For example, again, we can just talk about this order block, talk about it all day. Boom. So we got order block, and this is where we can kind of piece our tools together and use them. We can use our arrow. See, this is why you have it on your favorites bar. It's right here. Arrow, boom, boom, click and drag. You point it out, and use your text box and say order block. It's just more specific. I use this a lot if I'm back testing and I want to just chart up my charts to back test and see where I had a specific confluence at, to input it into my trading journal, which also my trading journal is in the Discord. If you want to look at it live, you can see me exactly when I'm typing, my exact thought process when I'm trading and all that. So bam. Yeah, that's how you use your arrow. That's how I use the arrow. You can use it if you want for a trend or whatever, but that's just how I use it. Okay, next we have, let's work with me, our drawing tool. Pretty self-explanatory. You want to take your drawing tool, it's a little paintbrush icon. You should find it like, I think, where it shows the arrows and then brush. Yeah, you just draw anything. So that's pretty self-explanatory. You can draw whatever with that. I don't use it for any specific reason. I usually use it for videos. Okay, next we have, dang, what happened? Oh my gosh. Why are you tweaking on me? Alright, MTT. More than trading, because it's more than trading. Alright, next we have our GAN box. GAN box, I use this a lot. GAN box I usually use for two things: to either find the premium and discount of a day's daily range, or to identify a structure. So what that means is that I want to see, or for three, just to identify accumulation zone. What accumulation zone is, and you can kind of refer this to structure, is just a zone where you can kind of say it's like it's choppy. We're accumulating liquidity in the market, which is just retail traders, stop loss, and yeah, a bunch of stop losses just being formed for us to later take that out. Okay, so I use my GAN box here, for example. If I see equal highs or relative equal highs, relative equal lows, I would mark it from where I see those relative equal highs and drag it down to those relative equal lows. And what I'm looking for here is a break from this GAN box. A 5-minute candlestick close out of this GAN box to tell me that we're breaking from our structure. Okay, and we're either going to our manipulation zone of the market or distribution. Okay, so that is how I use GANBox, but I'll have a whole video on that and how I use it to a T, to a crisp, very soon. It's a very helpful confluence, or a tool, however you want to say it. Our last tool here, we have one path pretty self-explanatory. So you just want to try to, I guess, predict whatever you want to look at, or just see simpler, like more simply, how the market's moving. Boom, use path, click, drag, click, 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 click. And it's different from the trend line because you don't have to keep like resetting it every time. Like I take out the trend line, I got boom, and then go click again, and then boom. But not path, you can just boom, 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 just like that. But yeah, that's simply what path is. I don't use it for any particular reason. I just have it there because it's pretty helpful. And last but not least, something that I use a lot is our horizontal array. Okay, so our horizontal array, I use this personally to identify areas of liquidity. So these can be like jars of liquidity, like sell side or sell stops, buy stops, previous lows, previous highs, data, anything like that. So a little shortcut to use this tool is Alt J. So say I see this previous low, like I guess these relative previous lows, some sell side resistance, sell side liquidity. Mark that out. Highs, previous high, some buy side. Just using it and it goes forever. So as I'm trading throughout the day, it stays here. It's not like a trend line, for example. If I only mark it here and market keeps going past it, like I won't be able to see it anymore. But with the horizontal ray, I can see it forever. Okay, so that's just how I use the horizontal ray. You guys won't be using it right now until we really get into what sell side is, what buy side is, and again, I explain all of this in my Discord for free. I want to build a community where it can be a genuine community with like-minded traders that are all trying to get better. And who knows, if you're already a really profitable trader, I do have a little section for the profitable traders too. Just join the Discord, get active. Yeah. But honorable mention, I would say Alt V. We have our vertical axis or vertical ray. Okay, I use my vertical ray just to mark out certain times in the market. For example, if I'm back testing and I want to see where is our New York Open, I'll go to 9:30, mark out New York Open, and I see everything after that. That's pretty much all she wrote to that. But yeah, that's how you use vertical ray. That's Alt V. Yeah, and you can use that for any time frame or any timestamp. But yeah, that's how I use all of my tools. And yeah, let's go to the next video. God loves you. Bye bye. He does. He really does. If anyone loves you, it's God. Remember that. He might let you fall, but he will never let you fail. All right.